Hello everyone, welcome to our honors program, Empathy as a Life Skill class video, where we get live intros to K-State students and what they think about empathy, and then we get some input from people in our class about empathy and where they've seen it in their lives and why it's important overall.
Alright guys, so before we start our video and go into interviewing people, we first need to understand what empathy is. So, when people begin to think of empathy, they often think of sympathy instead, which is to sympathize with others about something they're going through. This is often sadness and doesn't involve other feelings. Empathy, on the other hand, is understanding all of the emotions someone is going through. It is sharing a mutual understanding of the experiences they're having and how it affects their feelings and their emotions. Understanding this is incredibly important, and yeah, be empathetic. Run the video.
Hi, it's very nice to meet you. Can you give us your name and your major?
Yes, so I am Walter Beba, and I am a mechanical engineer here at K-State.
It's very nice to meet you, Walter. We're going to ask you just a couple questions about empathy.
Okay.
Can you tell us a time when you experienced empathy?
Towards the beginning of the semester, I was starting EP1 and super stressed out, and then I realized all my friends were also very stressed out and struggling with it, so it was nice to be able to have a bunch of people who were in the same experiences, because then they could show empathy towards me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What do you think you could do to become a more empathetic person?
Just, I guess, get out and go spend time with people. Less time. I feel like if you're alone, there's more time to think, and that sometimes leads to bad stuff. So, just going out and seeing where people actually are, rather than just asking if they're okay or spending time, like going to spend time with them and seeing how they're doing.
That sounds like it would be a really good first step. Do you think that people on campus are empathetic?
Absolutely.
Do you have, if you had to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say?
An 8, because we're all kind of in the same boat per se. It's all kind of new for a lot, especially because I'm a freshman. But yeah, so if I was struggling with something, I could go to any one of my fellow students or to counseling or anything like that.
I think that's really good. I'm glad we have those opportunities on campus. Thank you so much, Walter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, be empathetic.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell us your name and your major?
My name is Addison Harm. I am a double major in medical microbiology and medical biochemistry.
It's really nice to meet you, Addie. Thank you so much. We're going to ask you just a couple questions about empathy. How would you describe empathy?
I would describe empathy as the feeling of putting yourself into somebody else's shoes, even though you might not have experienced the same event or experience.
Yeah, I think that's really good. What's a recent time that someone was empathetic to you?
So I've been kind of a spaz in the last week, and I've lost about half of my belongings. And I had a friend who really helped me to just stay calm and realize, hey, you'll get out of this rut in a second. So it was helpful to push me into this week.
That's good. I'm glad you have friends like that in your life. Do you think there's a limit to how empathetic someone can become?
I don't think there's a limit on how much empathy somebody can feel, but I think there's a limit on how much time someone can invest in somebody else being empathetic, because if you invest too much time in somebody else and not investing enough in yourself, then you start to get lost.
I think that's a really good answer. Thank you so much, Addie.
You're welcome.
Yeah, be empathetic.
Hi, this is Ashley. We're in this class together, and we wanted to ask some people in our class about their opinions on empathy. So, Ashley, can you tell me why empathy matters?
I can try. So empathy matters because we want to be a more empathetic world, and that's kind of like the basis of it. But we always want to better the world and to grow and not recess, and a way that we grow is through empathy and just realizing that others might not have the advantages that we have, and through empathy, through the aspect of like seeing them for who they are, we're able to like grow in through the world. And an example I like to use is engineering, because I'm an engineering major, and so if we look at engineering trying to grow through like mechanics of stuff, we always have to think about the person we're using this for. And with empathy, we can use that. And we could look at them, see what they need, and tailor to their needs so as to grow the world in a better way.
That makes a lot of sense, Ashley. I like that you have a way that you can relate it to your own life. I think that's really good. Thank you.
Yeah. Be empathetic.
Hi, this is another classmate of mine. Can you tell us your name and major?
My name is Blake, and I'm a pre-medical biochemistry major.
All right, Blake, what do you think are a few things that people can do every day to become a little more empathetic?
Personally, I think that one of the smallest things that you can do every day to become more empathetic is just to talk to someone you've never talked to before. When you talk to people, you can't really just talk to them just because you truly need to listen to them and understand what they're saying and give them all of your attention and focus. And I think it's one of the best ways to become empathetic because you learn about different kinds of people. And the more you learn about different practices, cultures, and just people with different backgrounds, the more likely you are to be more empathetic and understanding of other people in the future. So
That sounds like a really good answer. It seems like it'd be really easy for people to just implement in their daily life. Thank you, Blake.
of course.
Yeah. Be empathetic.
Thank you guys for watching our Empathy as a Life Skill class video. Just to reiterate our 3 most important points we want you to take away. First, what even is empathy? Empathy is simply just the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and to feel what they're feeling. Second, the most important thing to remember is empathy matters because it allows us to build deeper connections with people around us on a daily basis. And finally, how do we get better at empathy? We've talked a lot about it, but the way to get better is simply just to talk to other people, hear their experiences, and then be able to walk in their shoes after listening in depth to what they're going through. So let's take these 3 skills, remember them, and implement them in our lives so we can make K-State and beyond a better place.
Empathy is out of this world.